Welcome to Inspiring Narratives. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do say it with me. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad adada ma tuhibbu wa tarda. We have a different kind of story today. When I read this story, I cried because it's evidence of how people wrong themselves. May this story serve as a reminder to us all. This is a reminder for others to understand that if every person reflected on their actions, they would realize how much harm they do to themselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wrong us. We wrong ourselves by the sins we commit. While you might not sin like the brother in this story did, hopefully, be careful of the minor sins against your fellow brothers and sisters. Beware of the small sins, for they will accumulate on a person until they destroy him. Our story starts with a young man who says his uncle, his mother's brother, was diagnosed with cancer in 2017, and they both went to the hospital in Cairo for his treatment. My uncle was in a room that had 4 beds. He took one bed, and there were 3 other patients with him in the room. A curtain separated them. One of the men in the room didn't allow the others to sleep day or night. He would be constantly crying, and if he slept for a while, he would wake up screaming and crying. This man was either awake crying or he'd sleep and wake up crying and screaming. This young man said, "Let me go check on him and try to comfort him." So I went to him and I said, "Assalamu alaikum ya Hajj." Hajj is a way of addressing respectfully an elderly man. He answered, "Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh." He asked him, "What's your name?" He said, "My name is Ahmed." I advised him to stay close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have patience during this time, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will heal you. I know that the pain of the chemotherapy is strong, but Allah will reward you and heal you, inshallah. This man was suffering from lung cancer. Subhanallah, the man answered and said, "You think I'm crying because of the pain of the treatment? No, wallahi, my son. The pain within me is far greater than that." "What is it, Uncle Ahmed?" Again here, uncle. The word uncle here is used just to show respect, as he is an elderly man, but he isn't actually his uncle. "Tell me what's wrong," the young man asked him. "I have a strange story, and I wronged myself terribly. I am the reason why I'm in this situation." "What is it, Uncle Ahmed?" "There's a solution for everything. Allah will heal you and all will be resolved inshallah soon." He starts to tell me his story. "I was a poor man and I had a friend. We decided that we would start a trading business together. We started small and it grew and it got really big. My friend, who was a kind-hearted person, stopped asking about details of the business. He trusted me with everything. He used to come and check occasionally. We were good friends and he trusted me completely. Until one day Shaitan started whispering evil thoughts in my head. When the money increased and our company was doing really well, and Allah blessed us with so much, that's when Shaitan came. I would continuously tell my friend, "We are at a loss. All my business dealings have failed." I told him, "I owe you nothing. We lost everything. I have nothing to give you." I started falsely writing all the receipts and paperwork to reflect this. The man didn't take a single penny of his original capital or any of the profits. After that, he came and asked me how. "Allah has blessed us and everyone is saying that the trading is going well and we're making a profit." I told him, "There's nothing for you. Come check all the paperwork and the receipts. You won't find anything." Everyone knew that I treated this man unfairly and took what rightfully belonged to him. But I just didn't care, and I organized everything that would prove I was in the right, and he couldn't do anything about it. The man filed a case against me in court, but I hired lawyers, and he wasn't able to claim anything. As time passed, the man, burdened by the hardships he was facing, sold his house in the countryside. He brought his children with him and came to see me at the company. He came to me and said, "I want my money." I told him, "I owe you nothing." He said, "I'm leaving this country and we might not meet again, but I'll be waiting for you in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I will get my rights back. Allah is sufficient for us and He is the best disposer of affairs. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel." and he left. I showed no mercy to him, his children, or his wife. They left the whole country because of me. I didn't feel sorry for them. I thought I was smart and I was proud of what I did. The man left and I didn't see him again. But days went by and I convinced myself that the money was mine and that my children are more deserving. The company continued to grow and money was coming in from all directions. The days went by and I told myself that I was fine. I had everything I wanted: my family, business, properties, buildings, relations, the best education for my children. Everything was going perfectly. I even began to believe the lie. The devil deceived me. I went and performed many umrahs and hajjs. My money kept increasing. My children graduated from their universities and I brought them into the company with me. They began helping me and day by day they took over everything. Eventually I grew old and they told me, you should rest at home, don't exhaust yourself. I was completely pushed aside. While they continued running the business, time passed and I became sick. When I first got sick, my children said to me, just rest, don't strain yourself anymore. They would come in and go out as if I wasn't even in the house. They completely abandoned me. I became like a stranger in my own house. They didn't care for me. No one asked about me. Everyone was busy with their own work and life. I gathered my children one evening and told them what I had done to this man many years ago, that I had taken his money and that the money is forbidden money and I want to give back his money so that he would forgive me. They all told me, no, we don't accept that. When you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can work things out with him then. We won't give away any of the money that's with us after what we have achieved and worked hard for. SubhanAllah, I went out and searched for this man. I found out where he was, so I went and was told he had passed away years ago, maybe from what I had done to him. I found his children and I asked for their forgiveness, and I told them I am unable to do anything. Forgive me. I am sick and I'm unable to do anything, and I told them about my children. They said, by Allah, if your entry to heaven depended on just one word from us, we wouldn't say it. You will have to answer for what you did to our father. He passed away in sorrow while still young because of what you did to him. After that, I got sicker, and my life took a turn for the worse. At this moment, he started to cry uncontrollably. After he finished crying, he continued with the story. He said, I became sick and decided to go to the hospital to get treatment. Since being here, my children haven't visited or asked about me at all. Every now and again, they send the company driver who throws me something and leaves. The young man says, I personally came across this man and asked him who he was, and he confirmed to me that he's the driver working at the company where this man's children work. He continued and said, I don't know what to do. Every time I sleep, I remember this man telling me, don't worry, I'm waiting for you on the day of judgment when no wealth or children will be of any benefit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give his servants their due. I am waiting for you there, and I will get my right from you, and you will be thrown into hell. I swear by Allah, it's as if he's waiting for me. I can't shake the image of him in my mind. I can't escape the thought that I will stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he will demand his right and I will be punished. And what's worse than that, every time I sleep, I see my place in hellfire. I see my place in hell, my son. And that's what makes me scream and cry. He started crying and I didn't know what to do or say. I didn't know what to advise him with, such as seek Allah's forgiveness, because the rights of others only have one solution, that they must return to their rightful owner. In the hadith, whoever takes the right of a Muslim by swearing a false oath, Allah has made hellfire obligatory for him and has forbidden paradise. A man said to, O Messenger of Allah, even if it's something insignificant, he said, even if it's a twig of a tree. I continued to listen to him and try and comfort him with whatever I could. After a number of days, my uncle passed away, and after that, I left the hospital. A couple of weeks went by, and I thought to myself, let me check on Uncle Ahmed, see how he's doing. I went, and they told me that he had passed away a few days after my uncle passed away. He died all alone. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's a sad one, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.